Hey guys, I'm back with another vid. So a couple of videos ago in one of my what to watch videos, I told you guys that I would be recommending things that you should read. And since we have a lot of downtime, I wanted to recommend a few of the books that I've already been able to read in this new year. So first, I'm going to start with this book. I talked about this book in my vision board video, and I was gifted this book by someone I really admire, and it's called Zen as Fuck, a journal for practicing the mindful art of not giving a shit by Monica Sweeney. And it's like a journal, like it says, and it just has like a lot of prompts and things to focus on. You know, it's real introspective. It really is what the title says. It's like prompting you to put things in perspective and not concentrate on negative things. Look for the positive, look for the silver lining in the clouds and things like that. Let's see. So I tab things, of course, that I like or that did something for me. So let me pull one of my tabs and see what it was. So this one says Frankenfield. And you probably won't be able to see it, so I'm just gonna read a little bit of what it says. It says, Frankenfields, inner demons be damned. What are qualities about yourself that sometimes make you feel like a freaking monster? But it says ucking. It's a lot of cussing in here. I like it. Some things that make me feel like a monster. Sometimes I can have a mean mouth, is what I wrote. My moodiness. I can be a little judgy, and a lot of inner criticism. Like, I criticize myself a lot. And it says, don't be afraid of those demons. Show a little love and pat these monsters on the head. What do you find works best to tame them? Me having time away to cool down and unthink. Solidarity in space. Open communication and being comfortable to discuss my feelings. Accepting genuine love and getting all glammed up. All those things help me to tame those monsters that I deal with sometimes. So it's things like that. Look, here are some things that do not require your sorries. Add your own. This one says sorry, not sorry. Some things require apologies. If you've been hurtful, negligent, destructive, you should hold yourself accountable and say you're sorry. But in a world where sorry has become a verbal space filler or knee-jerk response to simply existing, saying it for everything tells the world around you that you're an inconvenience, that you're getting in the way, that you're somehow not worth someone else's time. Well, fuck that, my friend. You're worth all those things and more. So it's a checklist about things that you're not sorry for. So it's like walking through a door when someone opens it for me, accomplishing something, coughing, except right now. With COVID-19, you better be sorry for coughing. Progressing is one I wrote in. Laughing, smiling, breathing, having wisdom, I wrote that one in. Speaking up, speaking out, having ideas, I wrote strength. Just things that you shouldn't be sorry for. You know, it says frowning on here, and I put a note and said this is the one. People often assume, especially with black women, that if you're not smiling and giggling and placating, then there's something wrong with you. And it's like, no, I'm chilling. Like, leave me alone. Like, do you want me to be mad? Like, what is it? So I really love this book. I went through this book, maybe I casually read it in the evenings with my evening tea, and it did a lot for me. It took me about 3 weeks to a month to just like go through the journal, and that's because I actually did the work. Like, I tried to do the worksheets. The only thing that I didn't do in here, and let me try to find one. You know how adult coloring books are a thing now? I ain't do that. You know, coloring ain't never really been my thing, so I didn't do that. But everything else, like, I was fully committed. And I think that's the benefit of this. If you're gonna do an introspective journal, reflection journal like this, you gotta commit to it and, like, you know, read the prompts, fill in the answers, like, do the work that's inside of it, or else you're just like reading a bunch of funny stuff and it's like not doing anything for you. So if you're going to do something like this, make sure to stay committed. Again, this is called Zen as Fuck, a journal for practicing the mindful art of not giving a shit by Monica Sweeney, and I'll link all the books in the description box. Next, this is the best book This is one of the best books I've ever read in my life. And so what I did is I went on Amazon and I just put in books for black women, made it plain, and this book is one that popped out. I see a lot of women my age, young black women especially, talk about Sarah Jakes Roberts, but I've never, you know, given her a thought or even looked at anything that she's ever done. But I love this book. It's called Don't Settle for Safe by Sarah Jakes Roberts, which is T.D. Jakes' daughter. And her story, one, is amazing. You know, she's a teen mom. I think she said she got pregnant at 14. And her life is just like ebbs and flows of highs and lows. And she's really honest in this book. And she talks about being raised by her parents and how that affected her, and how being a teen mom affected her, and about how being raised in the church affected her. And it's just a really, really good read. The biggest thing that I took from this book is something I had never heard before, and I grew up in church, and she calls herself a kinsman redeemer. And when she introduces the term or the phrase, it's of course from the Bible, and she's talking about, I think it's Ruth and Boaz, and how Ruth had just lost her husband. Is it Ruth or is it Sarah? Y'all don't quote me. I don't really know the Bible like that. But she had just lost her husband. I might have tabbed it. Let me see. And when she lost her husband, she felt like she was done. And so her mother-in-law had told her, you know, like, you don't need to move, and you need to stay here, and don't go. And so she ended up leaving, and that's how she met Boaz. And when she met Boaz, Boaz didn't just accept her. Like, all her people were poor. Her whole family was done for after her husband died. And so when she married him, they inherited whatever he had. Whatever he had to offer, it was for not just her, but her family as well. And so they call people like that, yeah, it was Ruth. They call people like that a kinsman redeemer. I want to read exactly to y'all where she said that. Okay, when Ruth and Naomi's husbands passed away, they lost connection to any family who could help them reestablish themselves. That was until Ruth connected with Boaz. Boaz could marry Ruth and not just protect and cover her, but also improve both Ruth and Naomi's lifestyle. He was what the Bible refers to as their kinsman redeemer. A kinsman redeemer restores or preserves the full community rights of disadvantaged family members. So she went on to expound and say, you want to be a kinsman redeemer. When you are dealing with your friends and your family, you want to be the person that is able to promote healing through all of you guys. So once you work on yourself and you do the work and you heal, you share the things that you've learned in your journey with your family, and you can heal so many other things and so many other connections in your family by being a kinsman redeemer and sharing the things that you've learned in your journey. And so I needed that. That was right on time. I feel like that's the purpose for me and my family specifically. I'm a kinsman redeemer. The work that I'm doing on myself is benefiting my mother. It's benefiting her and her relationships with other people. And I love that I'm not holding my healing and keeping it hostage to myself. That God gave me this blessing and this grace, and I'm able to share it with other people that I love. And so I really, really recommend this book. I'm reading like 2 books, 1.5 books a month, so it didn't take me long to read. It's not that long. In all, it's 187 pages, so it's a pretty quick read, and it's so interesting, and it's so motivational, and it's so relatable. So I think you'll really enjoy this. So if you're looking for something to read Don't Settle for Safe by Sarah Jakes Roberts. You'll love it. And then my last book I'm going to share with you guys in this episode, because we're reading all year, honey. Reading is fundamental. It's the readathon over here. Acts of Faith by Iyanla Vanzant. And this is not a novel. This is daily meditations for people of color. And each day, the way it is, it's like per day, it will have a devotion. Focus. I don't know if you can see that, but that says March 16th. So the purpose, of course, is to read it per day and then do the reflection. And so that's what I've been doing. Now, some days I miss, and I'll just do multiple days at a time. But I went to my local dollar store and I got a happiness journal. And my happiness journal, the reason I bought this one specifically, I hope this shows, and don't look at my ugly nails, we on quarantine, but it has a date and a page space. And so I'll write the date and the page that I'm starting on, and I just make sure that I'm keeping a journal while I'm going through my devotion. And that's something that I had wanted to pick up with too. I want to start back on my journaling, and just, you know, coupling that with something else that I want to do that was purposeful, like reading, has really been convenient for me. And not just convenient, it's been helpful because I'm able to retain the things that I'm reading in this book because I'm also writing about it. So like I do in everything, I'm tabbing. And also so these little pages you can see in my books, I have, this is the book that I'm reading now, and I'm not going to share it with you guys now, but I have like a slip of magazine paper in it, and I just take, like, I'll go in Ebony or Essence and I'll rip out a picture of a woman I love and put it in there. So this one that I'm reading now has Simone Sanders in the book as my bookmark, and then in my meditation, in my devotion book with Iyanla, I have the one and only Angela Davis. So let's see, I'm gonna go over one of my reflections with you guys so you guys can see exactly what Sister Iyanla has to offer. Let's see, not that one, I'm not good enough. Okay, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired by and it's like opens up with a quote. And that quote, oh, I wish it could focus better. Let me turn my light down. It's a quote by Fannie Lou Hamer. So the quotes are often like the prompt, and it says, many of us believe that unless we are struggling, we are not doing it right. We struggle with thoughts, feelings, and even other people. We struggle with money problems, family problems, and personal problems. Many of us have said, I am tired of struggling. Well, guess what? When you make the decision to stop struggling, you will stop. When you stop struggling, things get better. Struggle goes against the flow. It creates exhaustion in the mind and body. When you are exhausted, you get sick. If you are sick, you must make a decision and commitment to do everything in your power to get better. The power is in the commitment never to do what makes you sick. The key is the decision never to tire of doing what is best, good, and right for you. I give nothing power over me. What are you sick and tired of? What are you willing to stop wrestling with today? So it's stuff like that. I really like it. I think that it helps me to channel my thoughts and my feelings, especially when I can't express what I'm feeling. And I feel like, you know how sometimes, this used to happen to me a lot when I was younger. If I would read the Bible, I would go through the Bible and I would just stop on a page, and I felt like, and I could be being totally weird here, I felt like God sent me that message, because wherever I would stop, that would specifically pertain to whatever I was dealing with. So that scripture or that passage in the Bible would help me so much, because I was looking for something and God sent it to me. So that's kind of how I feel about my devotion with Iyanla Vanzant and Acts of Faith. Like, the messages are always really on time. If you've ever watched her show on Iyanla, what is it called? Iyanla Fix My Life, then you know she serves that plain Jane, honey. She does not sugarcoat, and her writing is like that. This is actually the first book I've ever read by Iyanla Vanzant, and I'm looking, like, I want to read one of her actual books, like novels, this year. But I'm gonna hold on, and it's March, so I've been doing 3 months worth of devotion, and it's been really helpful for me, and I really enjoy it. So I mean, it's not too late. If you want to start now, you could read the first 3 months like a novel, and then get you a journal and start journaling, or bookmark this in your mind, and at the start of 2021 pick this up so that you can enjoy it and she can help you as well, because it's really been a godsend to me. So those are my 3 books for things you guys should read. Zen as F-U-C-K by Monica Sweeney. Don't Settle for Safe by Sarah Jakes Roberts. And Acts of Faith The Devotions by Iyanla Vanzant. I really like this and I'm really loving reading this year. I said I'm going to dedicate this year to Black female authors. I don't know if this good sister Monica Sweeney is African American or not. I think she is though, because this book popped up when I had typed in Black authors or Black books for Black women. So she might be, don't hold me to it, but that's one of my goals for this year. It's just to read material by women who look like me and who can relate to me so that I can get the most out of it. That's just what I'm telling myself, you know. It's no race, no hate, no gender. Like, we love everybody, but those are my intentions for my reading this year. It's just to read material by women who look like me and try to get the most out of this. So if you're looking for something to read, those are 3 great suggestions. And drop down in the comments and let me know what you guys are watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.